Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? I didn't expect so many people to be here already. Look at you guys being all supportive and stuff. So, tonight's episode, we got a lot to talk about. A lot happened in the news the last couple days, today and yesterday, well, last evening, that we are going to talk about. Let me see, where do we even want to start? Let me get my list. Trump continues to attack Harvard. The rumor is because maybe Barron may or may not have gotten rejected. They have, of course, denied those claims because, of course, you know, Barron can go wherever he wants or whatever. I don't know, but maybe that. But Malia Obama did, in fact, attend Harvard. Maybe that's why Donald Trump has it in for Harvard University. I don't know. Trump continues to pardon loyalists who have either been convicted of crimes or have crimes pending. Pete Hegseth has been accused of conducting illegal wiretaps to spy on his own staff, that's interesting. I thought that was pretty interesting. Attacks on ICE. This will be a shock to absolutely nobody. Attacks on ICE have increased roughly 400% since this time last year. Trump intends on spending tens of billions of dollars on ICE and supercharge arrests, they say. Also, Tom Homan, the guy who is Donald Trump's border czar, one of the members of Project 2025, may have taken money from the GEO group. And you guys have heard me talk about the GEO group before on this show. They are a private prison company that Donald Trump is giving billions of dollars to help build basically concentration camps here in the United States. And the amount of money is actually staggering. It's honestly become a focal point for me because they're creating their own personal. Donald Trump hasn't been able to invoke the Insurrection Act, which he wanted to do. They looked at it and they haven't done it yet, but we all know that Donald Trump absolutely 100% wanted to do it. And so far, they have not been able to come up with a decent reason. They tried to do, there's an invasion on the southern border. That didn't work. We haven't been violent as protesters and activists. So now they're going to spend, my theory is, tens of billions of dollars on ICE, making it Donald Trump's personal army, essentially. Charlie Kirk and other right-wing influencers are getting hammered this week, and they are being made to look like the fools that they are. Charlie Kirk, who, mind you, is a community college dropout, for some reason thought it was a good idea to go ahead and go to Cambridge and debate students there. Did not go well. I have some videos for you on that. Also, side note, I think we mentioned it yesterday, MAGA. Okay, MAGA. They're boycotting Harvard now. They said that yes, that is a thing. They are actually, I don't think they know how boycotts work. I don't think there's any chance that Harvard will suffer as a result of this boycott. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know very many MAGAs that are on that path in life to go to Harvard, but whatever. Also, we're going to troll Elon Musk because he is now completely backed away from politics, supposedly, after he did all this destruction through his Doge initiative. And he's apparently also not very happy with the spending bill because he was under the impression that he was cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. And then they just passed this bill that's going to balloon the deficit by trillions of dollars. Also, he launched another rocket, which again exploded. I think it's the third time in a row. He has so many goddamn rocket explosions that they actually came up with a term for it. They call it a rapid unscheduled disassembly. No, that just means the shit blew up. If people were on it, they would have died. Why are we giving it a fancy title? Unscheduled rapid disassembly. Shut up. Also, I took you guys' advice to try and, hello everybody, try to push the show a little bit to break through the algorithm. I did turn the ads on. I didn't want to, but I put it on as low as possible, so hopefully they don't pop up very often for you. But somebody kind of had a point, like if our podcast isn't helping generate ad revenue, then maybe YouTube is like, well, what's the point of pushing the show? I don't know. So I'm trying everything we possibly can to break through the algorithm. Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about. And other right wing bros, these red pill podcaster bros, they're just disgusting. People like Charlie Kirk, people like Nick Fuentes, Ben Shapiro, Andrew Tate, who is currently living his best life in the United States, even though he was recently again indicted in the UK. No, you're good. You're good, Amanda. Nobody's gonna hate you for that. It's just we're trying everything we can. I'm gonna try and curb my language a little bit this time, just because I don't want to get in trouble. Last thing we want to do is get demonetized completely, which could be rough for the channel in the future. So we're gonna tread carefully, and hopefully I don't get any freaking copyright violations for any of this stuff I'm showing. Most of this stuff I should be fine with. It's just articles and stuff, a few videos that I cut. Speaking of videos, the Trump administration has come out with a new ad for the military. I guess this is a recruitment ad. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Let me play this. Let's just start off with this, because this is crazy, and I'm going to laugh, because this is...
No more distraction.
Just listen to this shit.
No more electric tanks. No more gender confusion. No more climate change worship.
What the
We are
fuck?
laser focused on our mission.
Climate change worship? Electric... Okay. This is an actual ad for the recruitment ad for the military.
Warfighting.
We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars we end.
Can we admit that the guy who got medical deferments for bone spurs being in a military recruitment ad is just fucking... I'm sorry, see, I did it already. Is this weird?
And perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. It's called peace through strength.
You look into the eyes of these young Americans who are giving up the best years of their life in a uniform to serve their nation. They are incredible.
Through our power and might, we will lead the world to peace. Our friends will respect us, our enemies will fear us, and the whole world will admire the unrivaled greatness of the United States military.
Oh my God.
We will.
They put the bombing of Venice... Those weren't soldiers in that circle. Allegedly. They're trying to say those are terrorists. In that part of the world, when heads of... I mean, maybe they were. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But the fact that they just put a video of actual human beings being killed by a bomb in a military recruitment ad... I don't even know how to process that, because people that get in the military are teens. You know what I'm saying? Like people in their late teens. And then, yeah, I know, right, Pamela? I don't want my country to be feared. I don't either. I want my country to be respected and looked to for progress and innovation. Like, not this. That's crazy. That's an insane ad. The fact that he actually put people being... That wasn't AI. That was an actual op that they ran. Oh my God. And speaking of not starting wars, Russia came out after Donnie Dumperpants came out and said this, because he manages world conflicts through Truth Social. That's how our president, he posts like a pissed off teenager on social media. That's how he runs things. So this is what he had to say about Vladdy. We'll get more into his posts later, but what Vladimir Putin doesn't realize is that if it weren't for me, we're going to see the P-tapes. They're coming. Lots of really bad things would have already happened to Russia, and I mean really bad, in all caps, again. He's playing with fire. Well, Russia did not take too kindly to the threats, and... said Donald Trump is being very emotional. Yeah. This is insane. Donald Trump's going to start World War III. He keeps getting played by Putin. Like, why is anybody surprised by this? He'll call Putin and be like, "Yeah, I do peace treaty," and he's like, "Okay, I had a good call with Putin. He's cool. You know, he respects me and all this stuff." Like, no, and then 5 minutes later, Putin's sending out missiles and drones and stuff again. And then now Donald Trump's all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh my God, I don't understand. Vladimir's changed." He actually said in a video, I've known him for years, and he's just changed. He's not the same. And everybody in the world is like, "No, that's who he's been this whole time. He's always been that guy." Like, what do we even... I missed the invite. What happened? I agree, but I think Jeremy missed the invite. Uh-oh, what invite did I miss? Yes, and Donald Trump is making us the laughingstock of the entire world. Actually, not making us. We already are now the laughingstock of the entire world. Under Biden, we're at least respected because, I mean, I considered Biden, even despite his age, like, he was an elder statesman. You know what I mean? He was respected. He was respectful. He cared about people. I feel like he genuinely had our best interest at heart. And now we got this maniac coming out, and then all they want to talk about is Joe Biden's mental fitness. Joe Biden's mental fitness. Joe Biden's not president anymore. He did a good job. He did a good job. So even if his brains were scrambled, he did a good job. And the fact that he did a good job while his brains were scrambled, and then Donald Trump, who supposedly aced every cognitive exam he's ever taken, is running the United States into the ground. I don't know. I think that speaks even better of Joe Biden. The fact that he could run the country with half a brain, and Donald Trump, using all of his and then some, can't manage anything. Anything. Yes, but this is embarrassing. But they warned that Vladimir Putin was playing with fire by amassing troops near Ukraine. I've seen videos, and I don't trust anything that comes out of Russia, but sometimes you'll catch a video of somebody from there. I have heard that they are starting to draft people of fighting age, which is something they did during World War II as well. They just basically told everybody of fighting age, "Here, go fight." Yeah. So this is the tweet. This is the tweet. This is Russia's official spokesperson. This is like Putin's mouthpiece right here. Regarding Trump's words about Putin playing with fire and really bad things happening to Russia, I only know of one really bad thing, World War III. I hope Trump understands this. Now, I don't get all worked up every time Vladimir Putin threatens World War III because he does it all the freaking time. Every time he gets backed into a corner, "I'm going to nuke you." Every time. Every time. Like Donald Trump's the boy who cried tariff, and Vladimir Putin's the boy who cried nuke. And they're buddies. So yeah. But anyway, let me play this video because this keeps pissing me off because they continue to go after Joe Biden, even though Joe Biden's not in office. He's not in office. So Jay Tapper, who in a book recently has said that Biden's mental fitness was covered up, possibly by his administration. Anyway, here he is on Piers Morgan's show, of course, trying to sell copies of his book. And he actually says that this cover-up is worse than Watergate. We remember Watergate, right? When Nixon, stole documents, had people break in and steal shit from his political opponents. Yeah. They're actually saying, Jake Tapper of CNN, who is ending his career by doing this. The only people that he's going to have left are Donald Trump's MAGA supporters, and I hope he likes them, because after this, nobody's going to respect him as a journalist. If this is journalism, I have more journalistic integrity than Jake Tapper does, apparently. You know what I mean? But let me play this video just so you guys see what I'm talking about.
This brings me to your conclusion, which said Joe Biden is not Richard Nixon. The hiding and the cover-up of his deterioration is not Watergate. I'm not entirely sure I agree, Jake, with that conclusion. Yeah, well, I'm not entirely sure.
The next line is it is an entirely separate scandal. It is a scandal.
Yes.
It is. It is without question, and maybe even worse than Watergate in some ways.
Right.
Because Richard Nixon was in control of his faculties when he wasn't drinking, and so the idea that we don't mean to exonerate. The only reason that we have the Watergate thing is there because we quote Archibald Cox, who was a Watergate investigator, talking about how powerful the presidency is and how presidents get surrounded by people who have a vested interest in keeping that president propped up. So that's the only reason we invoke Watergate, is just to make clear, like, it's not Watergate.
Right.
This is an entirely separate scandal, maybe even worse.
So Joe Biden, the scandal is that Joe Biden being old is worse than Watergate. Oh, man. I'm telling you what. Today was a day. Today was a day. Social media was rough to me today. I don't know why it kept popping up in my algorithm, man. Racism, people, like, threatening to call ICE on people, like, just these entitled white people just calling black people the N-word for no apparent reason. And the Trump administration and all these red pill idiots that I'm going to talk about in a second are just empowering them almost. They're making it okay, which I don't think we should ever allow this behavior to be okay. Like I said, with this show, we're unapologetically anti-racist and anti-fascist. So I'm sick to my stomach watching our country basically go back into before the 60s, before the civil rights movement. Some states, there's actually even a talk of them lifting some kind of ban on segregation on a federal level. I haven't looked into it too much yet. I caught a headline earlier. If they lift desegregation laws in the United States, it will be like the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Segregation, it'll be, black and brown neighborhoods will get the least amount of funding while white kids get all the government funding for their educations. This is not a world that I even want to live in, man. This is not a world I thought I would live in. I thought we were making progress. I thought we were beyond all this, but no. Nope, unfortunately, we are screwed. Hold on a second. I didn't change the intermission thing. That's okay. But yeah, this is the world we live in now. And Donald Trump's out there spending money like it's endless, spending our tax money like it's endless, and pissing off Vladimir Putin, pissing off everybody, pissing off our allies. I think he put a 50% tariff on the EU, and then like 5 minutes later, he took the tariff off of the EU. It's nobody even, like, this is what happens when you make threats and don't back them up, dude. Nobody believes you anymore. You can make threats all you want, but if you don't back those ridiculous threats with something, like, nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody's going to take you seriously. It's just like they were going after Americans harder than they are going after other countries. It's pathetic. Also, seeing videos of cops. I'm convinced the cops are in on it on most of these. Like, if you see Patriot Front running around a neighborhood and they got a police escort, yeah, it's because the cops are in on it. Yeah, check the skin color of the cops. I guarantee they're all white. Guarantee they're all in on it. I can't guarantee it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Donald Trump is basically giving cops immunity and dumping hundreds of billions of dollars into ICE, which I actually have the breakdown. I also have a list of all the people that Donald Trump has pardoned. There are some fucked up ones on there. I'm telling you, man. But all right. Big shocker. Big shocker, too. This is breaking news. A Republican congressman, don't know his name, don't care. Really don't care. He doesn't look familiar, though. Held a town hall where he admitted, because one of his constituents asked, why would you vote for something that basically gives Donald Trump king-like power? And his response is, I didn't even read the bill. I didn't read the bill. They're going to ruin hundreds of millions of lives. while enriching themselves, and they didn't even read the bill. Interesting. So here you go.
This provision was unknown to me when I voted for the bill.
Can you please tell us why you voted to approve a budget bill that includes Section 70302, which effectively prohibits federal courts from enforcing contempt orders, which would then allow current and future administrations to ignore those contempt orders by removing the enforcement capabilities?
I do not agree with that section that was added to that bill. I will tell you this. I believe in the rule of law. I've taken an oath as an attorney. I've taken an oath as a state senator. I've taken an oath as a member of Congress. And I support our court system, and I do believe that the federal district courts, when issuing an injunction, should have legal effect. In fact, I relied upon that when the Biden administration was in place. The federal courts did a tremendous amount of good work.
So he supports the courts, but he voted to take power away from the courts. They didn't even read it. You think Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert read this 1,000-page bill? No. I bet you most of them have not read it. Maybe skimmed a few pages. Maybe they got their assistants to give them the Cliff Notes version. But you honestly think people like Marjorie Taylor Greene sat down and read this entire bill? No, they were just all for it because Donald Trump wants it. They don't care what's in it. Obviously, if they haven't read it, they don't care what's in it. They just want to please Donald Trump. That is what they did. They voted with their loyalty. They did not vote at all for their constituents. I mean, they voted against their own constituents' best interest to prove their loyalty to Donald Trump. So again, millions of people will suffer. ICE will be emboldened, unleashed upon the public. There won't be anything we can do about it. And they voted for it without reading it. That's crazy. I don't know how that's even possible. But yeah, we have members of Congress openly admitting that they didn't read the big, beautiful bill. I mean, if it's so beautiful, I thought you would want to enjoy every single page of it. You know what I mean? Feel that sense of pride, but no, you don't even know what the hell's in it. No clue. And if he doesn't know that that's in it, which could have been the most important part of the entire thing, saying Trump could be a king, and I just approved it. Like, you would think you would want to know these things. But no, they slid it completely. That's why they do this shit in the middle of the night. Most of these people, why just wanted to go home and collect their government paychecks and not do their actual goddamn jobs. We have politicians on both sides that are just effing all of this up. Again, I'm trying to curb my language a little bit. YouTube's probably not going to like some of these videos, but I don't have a choice. I have to play them because some of it's reality. It's like the reality that we live in. So if YouTube gets upset with it, I mean, it is what it is. So, all right. So enough of that. We'll go on to Donald Trump's True Social later. You know, I like to go over the last 24 hours. He has posted. I almost got happy, y'all. He didn't post for like, I don't know, 16, 17 hours. And I thought maybe, you know, but no, he posted. Damn it. Okay. Hopefully one of these weeks wake up and it's just no word at all. And yeah, we wouldn't be that. We're not going to get that lucky. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Let's move on to freaking the Elon Musk. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because of how he's acting now, because he's honestly focused, like Tesla's in the dumpster. Twitter's on fire. Metaphorically, probably physically too. All of his businesses are failing worldwide. So now he's, I guess, focused on SpaceX, but SpaceX has not had a good week either. He has been talking all week nonstop about going to Mars. Mars. We have a perfectly good planet here, dipshit. And you have all the money in the world. And instead of helping people on Earth, you would rather spend all of our tax money, because he ain't paying for this stuff, all of our tax money to go to Mars. Where, according to experts, we would only be able to survive a maximum of 4 years. If we were to somehow able to even build a base. Like, he literally thinks we're going to colonize Mars. I mean, you know, his family colonized part of South Africa, I guess. He came over here, colonized America. So I guess it's kind of his thing, right? Just colonizing things. I mean, it's on par for the white South African, right? Makes sense. So yeah, so now he has his sights set on Mars. I'm sorry, every time I think about this is hilarious because people think this guy's smart. People think this guy's so smart. Some people even say he's the smartest man on the planet. Even though he's never invented anything. He's never designed anything. All his ideas are completely bonkers. Like he says I have a video on the podcast with Ted Cruz. They're going to be at Mars by 2029, y'all. 4 years. I believe the trip to Mars would probably at least take a couple years. So he's got about 2 years until he has to actually get a rocket first that doesn't explode. And then they somehow, I'm assuming, have to invent some kind of sustainable fuel source because, I mean, how much fuel can you possibly pack into something? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't understand how it works. But here he is. Elon Musk is disappointed now by the cost of Trump's tax bill. Says it undermined Doge's work. I'm telling you guys, I think there's a breakup coming. And I think a lot of these Republican senators and congresspeople are going to pick Elon over Trump. I just have this feeling because I believe a couple more says since he has come out and said he's not for Trump's tax bill, a couple more Republican senators have come out and spoke out against the bill. So Elon still has influence over Republican elected officials, which is deeply concerning. But he's disappointed in it because it undermines all the cuts and all the savings, which he didn't save anything. He didn't save anything. Yeah. So they're going to add, he cut maybe, a couple $100 million by doing things like cutting USAID and all that stuff. Or maybe I don't know. I don't know how much it is at this point because every time you look at it, it's a different number. So the bill is going to add $3.8 trillion. I mean, that is waste, fraud, and abuse, you would think, right? Because, I mean, hundreds of billions are going into building a missile defense system. Hundreds of billions of dollars are going into hiring Proud Boys and Patriot Front members to run ICE. Just a theory. Could be true. Could not be true. I don't know yet. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's why they always cover their faces. Because they're cowards. Absolute cowards. Well, let's talk more about Elon Musk. Here he is, I think, I believe this is the Ted Cruz. These are great. These clips are freaking amazing. Here he is on Ted Cruz's podcast. So Senator Ted Cruz is not doing his official duties. He's podcasting. Okay, but here is Elon Musk talking about Mars and a new city.
Does man first set foot on Mars?
I think the soonest would be 29.
29.
Yes. And I don't think it's more than 2 to 4 years beyond that.
And that's not an unmanned. That's a human being putting his foot.
Hold on. See, this is amazing. This is what I like about AI. Based on our current technology, how long would it take to travel from Earth to Mars? If everything runs favorably and there's no problems, 26 months. Bro, you better worry about getting a rocket that doesn't rapidly disassemble before you worry about colonizing Mars in 4 years.
On the surface.
Yes, best case would be 29.
And what do you put the odds of finding either alien life or evidence of alien life?
0.
I don't think we're going to find aliens.
Okay. But do we find ruins? Do we find remnants?
Bro, this is an official government, or this is a government official. I don't know who this guy is on the right. Love the cowboy boots. All of them have cowboy boots on. As a matter of fact, Musk has his signature "Occupy Mars" shirt on.
We may find the ruins of a long dead.
Aliens. They're talking about aliens. The richest man in the world, the smartest man in the world, according to some of these people, and Ted Cruz, a member of the Senate. Senator, he's still a senator, right? Who cares anymore? But talking about aliens on Mars.
Alien
Okay.
Civilization. That's possible. And we may find subterranean microbial life. That's possible.
All right, if man lands on Mars in 29, how soon after that do you land on Mars?
Immediately, please. Be the first. Be the first. Go. Go. Please, just go. You could be in charge of Mars and fuck off for the eternity. Please, please, for the love of God, say you're going to take the first trip.
It remains to be seen. I'm not sure. The
Damn
important
it.
thing is that we build a self-sustaining city on Mars as quickly as possible. The key threshold is when that city can continue to grow, continue to prosper, even when the supply ships from Earth stop coming.
Oh my God. I'm going to have aneurysm. Okay, so yeah, he thinks that there's going to be a colony on Mars that he's going to build that will somehow eventually, on a dead planet with no oxygen or atmosphere and minimal gravity, will be able to sustain itself without supply drops from Earth. And how much are these supply drops are they going to cost? How many rockets do we have to send up to get enough equipment to Mars? Oh my God, this is so dumb. But anyway, I found this. I couldn't find an actual article, but I found this on Facebook. It's a good post. So new research shows, because this is, I read this online like a week or two ago. New research shows humans can only stay on Mars for 4 years. Longer than that, cosmic rays will poison you to death because there's no atmosphere. What do you think protects us from the sun? As humanity inches closer to setting foot on Mars, a new study offers a sobering dose of reality. Humans can safely live on the red planet no more than 4 years. The research, conducted by scientists who actually know what the hell they're talking about from UCLA, MIT, and international partners, highlights the intense cosmic radiation from the sun and distant galaxies as a primary limiting factor. Unlike Earth, Mars lacks a protective magnetosphere, meaning long-term exposure can be dangerous and even fatal. The findings serve as a crucial roadmap for space agencies like SpaceX planning future crewed missions to Mars. So great, we go to Mars. Great, then what? You build a colony, and then everybody dies from radiation poisoning in 4 years. Can we get all... I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I would love that. Government-funded MAGA trip, maybe. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But here is Elon doing more talks about Mars. He just won't let it go.
Did America and the world make a mistake by slowing down, going to the moon and to other planets? Was that a mistake on our part? I mean, don't we have so many scientific and innovative breakthroughs every time we go?
Well, I think we'll have tremendous breakthroughs when we establish a city or a base and then a city on Mars, because we'll have to overcome so many challenges that it'll serve as a forcing function for the development of new technologies that will have tremendous benefits to people on Earth.
Oh, how? Nothing you do on Mars is going to benefit Earth. This is so stupid. How are you going to pick a planet that has no life on it to be like, or literally Earth 2, which is where most of MAGA lives in their heads anyway, so it's appropriate, I guess. So yeah, Russia here saying Donald Trump is too emotional is great. I love it. Okay, here is the unscheduled rapid disassembly of, I believe, the third Starship rocket in a row. And yippee, it got further than the last ones. Billions and millions of dollars. I think these are like, what, $300 million a piece? I don't want to Google text or how much. Why am I doing it with my finger? How much does one SpaceX Starship rocket cost? Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, so $67 million a piece. A piece. So it's less than I thought. That's not including all the equipment, though, the launch pads and all that other shit, too. That's hilarious. Yeah. So he's quite literally America's largest welfare baby. The richest man in the world gets more welfare from the United States than any other individual. Actually, collectively, he probably gets more than all of us combined. $67 million to blow something up. You have made no progress. You have made no progress. They have all exploded, okay? And stop calling it a technical, like making up technical terms for a rocket blowing up. Rapid, unscheduled disassembly. Yeah, we know. We saw it. But anyway, here it is.
We have some breaking news on the SpaceX launch. I just want to show you, this is a live image of the SpaceX rocket. They have.
I'm sorry, but it gives me so much satisfaction every time one of these explode.
Lost control of it in space. It is now rolling, we are told. That is what the image we are seeing. It's not expected to survive re-entry.
Yep, another one. Waste of money. Waste of money. It's so sad. But colonizing Mars, I'm sorry, but this is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. I mean, yeah, it sounds good in science fiction. I'm pretty sure that's where he gets most of his ideas, is like science fiction movies and books that he read as a kid or something. Because that's what they sound like. They sound like ideas of a child. We're going to go to Mars, or we're going to build a city, and we're all going to live happily ever after. Really? Okay. Anyway.
We have a long way to go, because...
Duh. Yeah, we have a really long way to go.
It's not about just landing on Mars and doing flags and footprints. It's about creating a self-sustaining city on Mars. With the
people, if you believe this, God help you.
The fundamental fork in the road of destiny being that Mars is sufficiently self-sustaining and can grow by itself. If the resupply ships from Earth stop coming for any reason, whether that is because civilization died with a bang or a whimper, but if the resupply ships are necessary for Mars to survive, then we have not created life insurance. We've not created life insurance for life collectively. So that's the key.
Did he just call Mars life insurance for life?
Point in the future where destiny of life as we know it will forever be affected is when Mars becomes self-sustaining.
You know, it's crazy. These people want to destroy the world. They want to destroy Earth, and then go to Mars. How about all the rich people? All the rich people. If you're a billionaire, like if you start with a B, actually, there's a few that are exceptions that I could think of that I would like to keep, like Kai Cenat, Taylor Swift, people like that, like people that have money that appreciate where they came from and never forget where they came from. You know what I mean? And people that elevate others. But if you have all the money in the world, like you could change the entire world for the better. You could be known as the world's most amazing humanitarian and philanthropist. But instead, you're throwing up Hitler salutes and freaking talking about colonizing Mars. Like, really? Their lack of self-awareness just blows me away. They're perfectly fine with destroying this world while being focused on going to a dead planet where actual scientists have said and proven, using something called the scientific method, that humans would not be able to survive on Mars because we don't have the protective layer required to shield us from radiation, because there's a lot of it out there. There's tons of it out there. We can't. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's a waste of money. It's a way for him to take the focus off of all the failing that he's done, because his idiot supporters will actually believe that he is somehow going to save humanity by going to Mars. Man, our country's dumb. Are we really that dumb? Like, oh, yeah, what am I saying? Yeah. What? Yeah. What am I saying? Yeah, totally dumb. Oh, my God. Oh, real quick, before I forget, because I probably will, if you guys are interested, please consider going to, where is it? Our GoFundMe page. Holy cow, somebody donated. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Oh my God, a couple people did donate. I'm going to Washington, D.C. again on June 6th for D-Day for what is going to be a massive, massive protest. A lot of high-profile people involved. Dropkick Murphys is going to literally be performing. I could meet the Dropkick Murphys. You never know. But anyway, one of the organizers of this event from American Opposition, I don't know if you guys remember that show, Carlos was nice enough to invite me down there, and of course, I committed. And then now I got to figure out how to get there. So if you guys are willing to donate, please go to the GoFundMe. The link for this is in the description of this video, or the link tree is in the description. If you go to the link tree, not only does it have our merch, our social media information, it also has the GoFundMe, and this is the top link in the link tree. Please consider donating. I'm at 33% of my goal. I need to raise $1,000, and I only have like 8 days to do it. And it's, of course, to cover hotels, any equipment I might need or anything like that. For me and my son, food, gas, all that stuff. And parking and gas in D.C. is not cheap. Oh, my God. It's free to go to all the museums, but it's going to cost you a fortune to park and eat. That's for sure. So if you guys are willing to, I would love it to the end of time. Could be a great opportunity. Could be the biggest opportunity that our show's ever had. Because I've already been texting with one of the organizers who also was nice enough to donate to the show. And I'm going to meet up with them the day of. So I'm looking forward to it. A little nervous, very excited, but I'm going to do the whole live stream thing because it seems to be the medium of choice these days. All the youngins are doing it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, live streaming, IRL streaming seems to be the way to go. So I like being out in the streets. If I would be out in the streets every single day if I had the funding. I mean, honestly, if I did, I would be out in the streets every single day doing it in IRL streaming, in real life streaming, as opposed to just sitting behind his damn computer all the time. You know what I mean? Is Mike going? He's not going to be able to go to D.C., but he may be able to go to the one in Atlantic City, because I'm also going to one in AC on the 14th, which is been dubbed No King's Day. That's the day that Donald Trump is going to have his military parade. They claim it's for celebrating 250 years of the Army, but it's not. It's not. You'll see the day of. You'll see. I guarantee they're going to make it all about Trump. I guarantee it. It's going to be a Kim Jong-un, Adolf Hitler-style parade, and Donald Trump's going to be sitting up on a podium and above everybody else. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Just wait. So we'll be in Atlantic City, but I can stay with Tom and his wife and them because they only live like a half an hour from Atlantic City. So I'm not too worried about that one. But going to D.C. is an expensive trip, unfortunately. So if you guys are able to or know anybody that's looking to sponsor someone, I mean, we're looking for sponsors too. You know what I mean? We're looking for ways to be able to fund this and do more. So if you guys know anybody, any companies or anything, any companies you think might be willing to sponsor us, I have a letter all written up. I just don't have any people to send it to. I don't know who to, I don't know how to do this shit. I need help. I don't know how to do all this stuff. I'm a 47-year-old guy who before 4 years ago didn't even have a social media account. So yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I mean, I do because I research things, but at the same time, there's so much more I could be doing, and I just don't have the talent or the time or the funding to do it. So, yeah, all right. So anyway, enough about the fundraising, and thank you guys all so much for donating, the ones that have donated so far, donated in the past, and those of you that may donate in the future. We love all of you. So moving on from Elon Musk and that ridiculous idea. I mean, does anybody give a shit about Mars? No. Our country's literally falling apart. World War III is on our doorstep. We got Russia making threats. We got other countries making threats. Israel's out of control. And these rich assholes are worried about going to another planet with our taxpayer money. That just eats at me, man. That really does bother me in a way that I can't express in words at the moment. All right. So anyway, I'm going to move on. I want to talk about these. And this is going to come with a huge trigger warning because the next people I'm going to be talking about are some of the biggest pieces of human garbage you're ever going to see. And some of the stuff I'm going to show you is disturbing. But it has to be said because these are the guys that impressionable, because these are the people that target young, impressionable white men. They specifically go after white men who don't know their way, haven't found their way in life yet. Okay, so they target these kids, they warp their minds, and it's all a grift. Every right-wing podcaster, bro, or influencer, all they do is rage bait and sell garbage. They sell garbage. Andrew Tate is one example of a toxic red pill bro that just needs to be out of this country. He was on house arrest in Romania for human trafficking, sex trafficking, the R word, which I don't want to say just because I got my ads turned on. I don't know, because certain words trigger YouTube, and they get a little upset with me. But here it is right here. Blop. I can highlight it. But yeah, he was on house arrest for that in Romania. But because he was such a supporter of Donald Trump and such an outspoken supporter of the MAGA movement, guess who got a private jet invitation to come to the United States? And guess who is now living their best life in the United States? So Donald Trump keeps saying he wants to get rid of rapists, murderers, and drug dealers. So far, he brought one in from Romania, and then he brought murderers and drug dealers in from Mexico, El Chapo's family. So I'm confused. Are you getting rid of them, or are we just importing them as long as they have enough money? It seems like as long as you have enough money to donate Donald Trump, you're good. You're good. Because he's considering pardon. Wait till we get to the pardons. The pardon shit's insane. All right, so his brother Tristan and Andrew were charged with rape and other offenses in the UK. I'm just reading YouTube. Don't get mad at me. Andrew Tate faces 10 charges, including that and bodily harm, human trafficking, and controlling prostitution for gain relating to 3 women. His brother Tristan has 11 charges relating to 1 woman. Pretty much the same charges there. They were put on house arrest. And now, thanks to Donald Trump, the Trump administration literally reached out to Romania and pulled strings to get these people, these disgusting men, into the United States. Donald Trump did that. Okay, Donald, I want you to realize what I just read to you, what they're facing, the charges, they're real charges because he's come out and admitted it. This is the guy who's so confident in what he does that he will come out and say, yes, I beat women. Yes, I R-word women. I love it. It turns me on. He has actually said that. Okay, so none of what I'm saying is allegedly because I've heard it out of his own goddamn mouth. Okay? If you have children, especially young white men, 16, 17, even 15, maybe a little younger, be very careful who they watch on social media. You just never know. And the last thing you want is your kid turning into one of these toxic incels. You know what I mean? And I'm convinced that the only way this guy even is able to have sex is if he forces himself upon a woman. He's just such a pig. I don't understand the appeal. I don't understand the appeal. But here is his. I'm not going to play any of his videos because they're literally so bad that this video would get taken down in a heartbeat. So this is his personal Twitter page. So it's just a grift. Okay, here he's selling supplements to make you more of a man. I'm sure. But that's what he does. This guy does Bitcoin scams. I mean, he sells how to be a real man seminars and stuff, and people actually buy it. It's like a monthly subscription kind of thing. I'm not even kidding. Like this exists. This is a real thing. Learning how to be a real man from a guy who has to force himself on women is sick. And unfortunately, though, our commander-in-chief also likes to do that to women. And that's not even allegedly. That's per the court of law against E. Jean Carroll. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. He's pardoning people that have committed that fraud. One, he's considering pardoning a guy who almost kidnapped Gretchen Whitmer. He's considering pardoning him. Somebody who got convicted of trying to, he was planning on kidnapping an elected official. And Donald Trump is considering pardoning that guy. Like, why are we not in the streets? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we every day? We should shut this country down. If I know it would hurt, you know what? We're going to suffer. We're all going to suffer. But you know what? We can make them suffer too, collectively. I guarantee if all of us went to the bank, I don't have any money in the bank because I'm broke as hell. But if all of us went to the bank and pulled all our money out at once, banks would collapse. If all of us stayed home for a week and didn't go to work, the economy would collapse. We have power, but we choose not to use it because we're so afraid that, oh my God, maybe it's got, I might cost myself some personal heartache by doing this. But I mean, they're going to take it from you, bro. Take it back. Take the power back. I mean, I'm pretty much quoting the title of a Rage Against the Machine song, but no, seriously, it's time to take the power back. We have so much power collectively. That is why they want us divided. This is exactly why they want to keep us divided. Because divided, we don't have any power whatsoever. None. We are an unorganized bunch of morons with our heads shoved up our asses. But collectively, you know what I mean? We actually have a lot of power when it comes to fighting back. And obviously, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like a lot of us are just kind of going along hoping things are going to get better, and they're not. And it's time for us to take some freaking action. You know what I mean? Like, the revolution is on your front doorstep. And I'm not promoting violence. I'm promoting disruptance. Because that's what revolution really is. It's about disrupting. Okay? The revolution's on your doorstep. Are you going to participate, or are you going to let it run over you? I don't know. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying that, but I'm just saying, like, the resistance is over. The resistance is over. Okay? We shouted at the top of our lungs. We took to the streets. They didn't want to listen. They just continued on like we don't exist. Like we don't matter. And we all matter. Every single one of us does. You know what I mean? I just, shouldn't food be a basic human right? Like, why are we arguing about feeding the poor or, feeding children? Why is this such a hard argument for some people? I don't understand. I can't imagine what kind of person it takes. Like, how do you sleep at night with that kind of opinion? That you're okay with people in the United States that are going to starve as a result of Donald Trump's policies. That's crazy. That's crazy. Something's wrong with you. All right, but moving on from Andrew Tate, because he's one of them. So if you ever see any of your sons or daughters, dear God, listening or watching Andrew Tate clips, whether it's his podcast or his social media or just clips, because people clip his shit and they put it on TikTok or whatever with the stuff that doesn't get banned. But he's basically banned on all platforms except for the ones that allow this shit, like Twitter. You know what I mean? Or the obscure ones that most of us don't even use. A lot of these people are. Don Jr. is banned from all these platforms too. That's why he does his podcast on freaking Rumble. Because most people are not okay with the way these people are. Most people are not approving of how they treat women. Most people are not approving of this entire incel movement. But I feel like not enough people know about it. You know what I mean? Because they specifically target your teenage kids. That's who watches streams. And that's who's consuming social media like it's crack. The younger generation. I mean, I do too because of what I do. But you know what I mean? So you don't know in a span of a day, because you could watch, hundreds, thousands of TikTok videos in a day. In a day, you know what I mean? You have no idea what's popping up on your kid's algorithm. You need to be careful. You can't control what your kids see when it comes to the internet. You can't try, but really it's too hard. It's extremely difficult to watch everything that your kids do with smart devices. And then if they go to their friend's house, their friends have devices. So, but you got to be careful, especially if they're watching these toxic red pill podcasters. And Andrew Tate's just one example. I have more. There's actually a guy who just made headlines by the name of Andrew Wilson. This guy, wow. He has a podcast called, I already forgot about it because it's so stupid, called The Crucible. It's on what? Yeah, host of The Crucible. Okay. So Andrew Wilson, another one of these right-wing podcast bros. And surprisingly enough, he's married with kids. I don't know how this guy's married. I don't know how any woman would even touch this disgusting human being. But he's married, has kids. And I'm going to show you a video of some of the wildest shit I've ever heard a man say about women. And this is why I have a trigger warning on this section, because it's so gross. But who is Andrew Wilson? It's a common question among red pill. He's Andrew Wilson, whatever podcast, has become a very, very famous debater. Yeah, he's a master debater, all right. He is popular among adults who appreciate discussions on men's rights. So he's one of those guys. White men's rights kind of guy. Yeah. Okay. In recent years, he has debated on the Whatever podcast. You're going to laugh at this part. And his own channel, The Crucible, which has gained a lot of views. Today, we have a topic about Andrew Wilson. Blah, blah, blah. We'll discuss everything about him. There's a part down here, though, that I caught that made me laugh because I had to look this up. Andrew Wilson trained his debate skills on debateuniversity.com. So you know me, I had the what is debateuniversity.com? I've never heard of that. Well, it's got him on it. Bro, verbal combat. I do verbal combat. This is so stupid, man. This is where the grift comes in. It's a course. It's a course on how to debate. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Oh, we have a lesson plan here. Okay, course outline. It's over 80 videos, guys. All right, you ready for this? All right, ready? Video lessons include the art of verbal judo, the battlefield, what is proper thinking, and using proper thinking. Where's the verbal judo part? I want to learn verbal judo. I don't even know what that is. But buy this course. Okay. $250. There's the grift, guys. It all comes down to a freaking grift with these right-wing morons. $250 on how to be a better debater. Maybe a master debater. I don't know. Do you get a master debate? It might actually be worth it if you get a master debater certificate. Because I would get that just to be funny. Because that's hilarious. Sorry. I'll stop with the innuendo. More coming soon. Oh, guys. There's more. There's more. But wait, there's more. Oh, these people make me sick. You know, and it's funny, he's only on 2 platforms. It's because those are the only 2 platforms that are really probably allow him to be on there. But yeah, he's on Twitter, of course. But let me show you who exactly this guy is. And I apologize for this video in advance because it is truly mortifying what comes out of his mouth here.
Like certain people, it's like, okay, dude, yeah, I guess you could make the case that, like, grape is bad for certain people.
No.
Did you hear what he just said? He's trying to argue that assaulting women is only bad for some women.
For certain people.
No, it's bad for everyone.
No, it's only bad for certain people. Here, like, there's women, you agree, who have orgasmed during SA.
That has nothing to do with SA.
Bro.
That is...
So if you have So he's saying that if you have an orgasm while being assaulted, that's no longer rape. You enjoyed it, apparently.
Nothing to do with whether it's SA. Are you kidding me?
Bro, I didn't say whether or not it's SA. I said during SA.
What does it have to do with anything?
Well, bro, if that's the case, right, then was it bad for them?
Yes.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because there are overriding harms than just orgasm. I'm not saying that's not the case. What?
Perfect. So then here's the case then. The case is like when you say for some people, right? The reason you keep saying that is because even though it's the vast overwhelming majority of people, you want to like create this little minutia outlier right? Is it logically possible that there's ever been a woman who's been essayed who'd enjoyed it?
No.
I am not going to.
Can you answer my
No.
question? Is it logically possible?
No, it's not logically possible. There's no logic to that whatsoever. None. And that's what they're teaching young kids. That some women enjoy it. I would love to run into this guy in the street. I would love it. I would love it. But you know what? He embarrasses himself on the regular. The clip, you might recognize his face. There's a clip going viral that came out recently where he has because he likes to debate like feminists and liberals. You know, like all his thumbnails, he'll have like a person with green hair on it. You know what I mean? Oh, the green-haired liberals. So he debates this young woman and asks her to open up like a pickle jar. And she can't do it. So him being the man that he is like, give it to me. I'll do it. And guess what happens?
Open the pickle jar? It's like
This clip will haunt this man until the end of his days. Every comment he's ever going to get from now on is going to refer to this clip.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, this seems a little immature, no? For
Hey, the guy
$1,000?
sent $1,000.
Yeah, but it seems slightly immature.
All right, so just so you know, he gave it to her first, and she couldn't open it. So now this is him attempting to open it.
Fucking
It's just
slick now.
it's a little,
See, it
little fun.
is.
I gotta grip it.
Uh-oh, Andrew. If you can't open it either.
Well, your hand greased the whole top of it.
My hand are fine. Here, high five.
It
My
literally.
shoes are fine.
It's look, feel it. Isn't that greasy?
It was like that already. Oh my God.
No,
you're
it
ridiculous.
wasn't. You greased the top.
Use
Oh
your
my
shirt.
Jesus,
Use your
Andrew.
shirt,
If you can't open the olive jar, you cannot
Here,
blame my
while we're
hand.
doing olive jar.
If you're so strong, you should open it.
Yeah, I got to be able to grip it.
Okay, we'll grip it. Let's
It's
go.
literally slippery.
Uh-oh.
Grab me a paper towel so I can dry the top of it off.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, once the top is dry, if you still
But do
can't
we
get it
now
out.
need to allow her another opportunity with the
Give her the paper towel so
Give her
that.
the
No,
paper
I think
towel.
you should do it, Andrew. You're the big, strong man. There you go.
Notice how he wants to give it back to her and put the attention back on her. Now he looks like a complete idiot.
Here, I'm going to let some
I'm
chats come
greased.
through. We got some chats while they're working on that.
You know what amazes me? Somebody just donated $200 to their show. While he is obviously proving that they're complete bullshit.
Red Fox, thank you.
I'm an alpha male. I can do anything better than a woman except for open this jar.
Deontology prioritizes intent, but threshold exceptions introduce consequentialist reasoning.
I'll let you go first if you want.
No, Andrew, I greased it all up. There you
Are
go.
absolute. Introducing a threshold is ad hoc.
The best part of this,
Red Fox, thank you.
best part of the video is her boyfriend comes out afterwards like, yeah. See, a man with brains knows that if he took a knife or a metal object and just slightly bent that lid, it would break the vacuum seal and you could open it extremely easy. So that's what men with brains do. They figure out smart ways to do things. What does that prove anyway? Oh, great. You opened a jar of pickles that a woman couldn't open. Oh, you're such a tough man. I wish this video, I would love to talk to this guy. I would love to put this guy in his place. Verbal judo, baby. Right there. Said it right there. Verbal judo. I'm going to take the class. $250 to learn verbal judo. Okay, so anyway, now his entire career as this tough alpha male is in question, obviously, because he couldn't open a jar, which apparently that's the test of your manhood these days. Can you open a jar of pickles? Yeah. Cool. Cool. But yeah, he's another one. And like I said, that one comment that he made, my mouth was on the floor the whole time. I'm like, I cannot believe I just heard any man say that women could possibly enjoy being assaulted. That's disgusting, man. That is absolutely disgusting. Speaking of incels, we have Charlie Kirk, who's another one, who decided to flex his mental muscles, which are not very vast. He, again, is a community college dropout who decides to go to college campuses and debate Anybody, he says. He'll debate anybody. And all he does is go around spreading right-wing talking points, misinformation, lies, and, you know, he's specifically targeting, again, white men is what they're targeting. Because there is a loneliness epidemic amongst men in the United States, or I don't know if it's across the world, but there is a loneliness epidemic amongst men. And when men get lonely and they have nobody to turn to, God forbid, this is where they look. Okay, we don't need more people like this. We need less. In order for us to do this, we need to educate our kids that there are good influences in this world and there are bad influences. They're not all just influencers. Okay, some are good, some are bad. Bad. Charlie Kirk, bad. Ben Shapiro, bad. Benny Johnson, fucking awful. Russian propagandist. You know what I'm saying? Like all these people. Even Nick Fuentes, who's another one. He's the guy that when Donald Trump got elected, famously came out immediately saying, your body, my choice. Remember that guy? Yeah. Anyway, so Charlie Kirk, who is basically a nobody, has made his entire career off of grifting off of the conservatives. Why do they call them conservatives? Can't we just call them extremists, like religious zealots? Because that's what they are. They're not conservative at anything. Not even at spending. They're not even conservative at that. But Charlie Kirk decided he would go to Cambridge and debate. And this may, I don't know. The right wing was so upset by how good some of these people did. Like there was one young lady who came with notes on her phone. She took notes before she knew what she wanted to say. She had talking points. But because she kept looking at her phone to refer to her notes, the MAGA has immediately said that she was using ChatGPT to get all her responses, which I'm not sure how you would type a question in the ChatGPT that fast and then get a response in order to be able to debate somebody with it. But that's what they're going with. But he gets absolutely destroyed, not only by a student, but by a professor as well. But here's him getting absolutely just verbally murdered by a student.
So can you tell me what African country is currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan because I'm not an idiot.
How about what Southeast Asian country has an ethnic cleansing going on right now?
Myanmar.
Good. And you have strong opinions on both sides?
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I believe when everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you and the people you supported as corrupt, as selling the country out to the lowest bidder and of doing irreparable damage to a country I'm sure we all deep down love.
The difference,
I think you will have to reckon with that
difference
one, Mr. Kirk.
Is when...
And he dropped the mic and walked away, dog. Oh, I like that kid. I want to have him on my show. That was just the most epic mic drop moment. I'm starting to think Charlie Kirk has like a humiliation fetish because he's constantly getting humiliated by people that have, brains and higher IQs and didn't drop out of community college. But going to Cambridge, bro, you are out of your league. Way out of your league. Again, so here he is debating trying to explain to a professor something about Ukraine, how Ukraine is corrupt, and they're the bad guys.
Another reason why they are the most corrupt country in Europe that never even met the most remote standards of joining NATO. Do you not know where a lot of this money is going?
I don't disagree that there is a problem with corruption, but the most corrupt country in Europe, are you sure about that?
I'd have to double or triple think about that, but they're very corrupt.
Okay, so that's a little bit doubtful. It's not absolute.
Well, I mean,
there's plenty of corruption around. I mean, let's face it, we are talking about comparison with some of the states you're doing business with in the Gulf.
Oh, of course, but we're not giving them money, they're giving us money. That's a difference, right? Saudi Arabia.
Oh, so it's fine.
Well, hold on a second.
It's morally acceptable to take money from corrupt people.
So Charlie Kirk's defense was, it's okay because we're not giving money to Qatar and Saudi and all those really, really evil nations. We're taking money from them, so that's okay. It's like Mike Johnson explaining that Donald Trump's corruption is okay because it's out in the open. He actually said that. The reason why we called it the Biden crime family is because they did everything behind the scenes. And they were apparently so good at it that the Republicans still haven't been able to prove a single crime. Not one. Well, Donald Trump commits crimes daily. Like, literally daily. Between him and his administration. My God, y'all. My God. But that's Charlie Kirk. But he got handled so well by the students and the professors that even Nick Fuentes came out and said maybe the time of the right-wing grifter is over. And he is one of them. He is a right-wing grifter, just like the rest of them. But the fact that he's admitting it, I don't know. Maybe he's onto something.
And so I can't be the only one that saw Charlie Kirk get blown out on that point. Jordan Peterson get blown out on that point and realize the end is nigh for the conservative grifter. It's over. Because everybody that has put these people up on a pedestal, Peterson and Charlie Kirk have all the answers. If I hear a left-wing argument, I go to Charlie Kirk and Peterson to hear why that's not true. They've got all the answers. They're the masters of knowledge. They're the fountain of knowledge. But if Jordan Peterson gets blown out by some Redditor in those glasses, if Charlie Kirk gets blown out by some Cambridge student on that subject, it's the usual suspects. It seems like the left-wing debate bros have won. And that is not going to extinguish the right wing. On the contrary, it's going to extinguish those basic bitch conservatives.
What are you, Charlie? Or wait, that's not Charlie. Which one was he? Whatever. Nick Fuentes. What are you, buddy? What are you? You're not a basic bitch? He's a self-proclaimed incel. For those of you who don't know what incel stands for, it stands for involuntary celibate, which is just a fancy way of saying nobody wants to have sex with you. Also, real quick, I want to stop and just say thank you to STE. I don't know how to, is this maybe Stee? Matt and Amanda, thank you for your donations. We are getting ever closer to our goal. Thank you so much. And yeah, so that's the right-wing podcast, Red Pill Pipeline Bros. Andrew Wilson, Charlie Kirk, Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate, and others, Ben Shapiro. There's a bunch of them. And it all comes down to a grift. Charlie Kirk, it's just a grift. He gets money from, conservative political parties. He's the founder of Turning Point USA, which is just a white nationalist group that runs, that's the group that runs around the country. So if you ever hear TPUSA or Turning Point USA, that is Charlie Kirk. Somehow the college dropout has managed to make quite a comfortable living grifting off of dumb Americans. Living a very, very, very comfortable life. While people that give him money have nothing. You know what, though? If you want to give your money to this, go for it. Go for it. I don't even care. I hope you give all your money away to these people. That way you don't have anything left. And then don't come to us when you're like, oh my God, I got nothing left. That's what MAGA does, man. They'll flex their muscles, and then once something bad happens to them, then they go on TikTok with their hands out, like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. And all of us are like, yeah, we did. We called it. We told you it was going to happen to you, but you didn't want to listen. So anyway, moving on. There's a lot of toxic masculinity. There's a very unfortunate trend of toxic masculinity going around this country. Well, the world, really, because these people have international audiences, unfortunately, not just American audiences. So let's talk about this part of Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill that has really got me concerned, and that is the amount of money they're going to put into ICE. This is Donald Trump's personal police force, okay? They're talking about, all right, first they're talking about, they said estimates possibly $100 billion plus for the stupid ass Golden Dome. And now they're talking about $160 billion to go towards ICE and immigration centers. And, well, not immigration centers, but detention camps, concentration camps. This is a taxpayer funded, because we will be paying for this. Us, our taxes, not mine, because I didn't file this year. Fuck them. Anyway, our tax money is going to go towards this. Concentration camps, actual concentration camps. Are you okay with that? I mean, this isn't waste, fraud, and abuse. We couldn't just fix the immigration system and, you know, humanely deport people that aren't supposed to be here. But no, instead we're going to make, Donald Trump's going to turn this into his personal police force. They're not going to, it's going to start with immigrants and then it's going to turn on us eventually. They're going to go after the leftists eventually. So $46.5 billion for border barrier construction. Wonder how much of that money is going into somebody's pocket. $45 billion for adult and family detention centers. That would be enough to detain 100,000 people at a time, perhaps more. That's crazy. Yeah, so just to give you an idea, that would be enough to cancel the debt of 1.2 million students. We could end homelessness for over a year and a half with that money. 1.6 times the global revenue of the entire music industry. More than enough to build a new stadium for all 30 Major League Baseball teams. And more than Netflix's forecast worldwide revenue from 300 million plus subscribers in 2025. We are going to spend more on detention facilities than that. So yeah, instead of feeding the hungry or housing the unhoused or canceling student debt, which according to this is very much, I mean, every baseball team could have a brand new stadium, which would benefit the American people more than dumping vice or dumping all this money into a Gestapo-style police force. $15 billion to beef up ICE's capacity to deport migrants. Okay, so how much exactly would be $15 billion adjusted for inflation? It's enough to build the Empire State Building 18 times. More than enough to build a new large Hadron Collider, if that's what I'm saying, if I'm saying that right. Enough to build 17 Golden Gate bridges. And here's the big one, $16.2 billion to hire ICE and Border Patrol agents. That is the big one. Because who do you think they're going to target when they hire people? I bet you if you have Patriot Front or Proud Boys on your resume, you probably get moved to the front of the line. Right? I mean, they seem to be wearing the same neck gaiters. Or in that one guy's case, boxer briefs. Did you guys see the video of that guy getting... They took the... I don't know if he had handcuffs on or if his hands were full. But somebody else took his neck gaiter off. It was a pair of boxer briefs that this guy stuck his head through one leg of it so he could cover his face. So instead of just showing his face and being proud of what he's doing, he stuck his face in his own underwear and walked around with underwear on his face. And shields. Oh, you know what? You know what? Somebody had a great idea today. We should all start carrying around padlocks. We should all start carrying around padlocks. I'm serious. Think about it. If we ever came across a U-Haul van full of Patriot Front members, I would wait until they all got into it, and I would padlock the shit out of that door. So they would have to be in there until somebody found bolt cutters. I think it's a great idea. See, like I said, disruption. How pissed would they be when they get locked in the back of their own U-Haul? By a liberal. So yeah, I say, like I said, disruption. That's what revolution's about, disruption. We can really get under these people's skin. Because they're cowards. As soon as you approach them, you know what I mean? They're tough behind masks and their plastic shields. Because yeah, they carry those too. And they actually, like seriously, they if you watched that video yesterday, like they practiced that. They practiced that. So somewhere in the United States, there is a Patriot Front facility where grown-ass men go to march and play the drum like they're a fucking Revolutionary War soldier. Grown-ass men, probably all single. They actually go, so it amuses me that that's how grown-ass men are spending their time. They're going to training facilities and learning mixed martial arts and how to play the drum on rhythm and march with flags. You guys are idiots. You guys are idiots. You look stupid, okay? You think you're cool. You're not. You guys look like fools. Every last one of you. But on bigger news, on top of this whole supercharged funding of Donald Trump's Gestapo, Trump's border czar apparently cashed in with key ICE contractors. The GEO Group, which I've mentioned several times, they're a private prison company who specifically has been contracted to build detention facilities, concentration camps, and Donald Trump's border czar was cashing checks from one of the private prison giants, the GEO Group. They are the ones, the GEO Group are the ones that built the one in Newark. They're also the ones that arrested the mayor of Newark and assaulted members of Congress. So Tom Homan is the face of Donald Trump's deportation. So I guarantee when shit goes sideways, people start dying, he's going to be the one that Donald Trump blames. Because Donald Trump's loyal to nobody. That's what none of these people understand. They think that if they suck up to Donald Trump, if they lick his boots enough, that Daddy Trump will somehow love them. Well, Daddy Trump only loves one person, and it's himself. He doesn't even like his own family. So if you think somehow, some way that you are going to get in the good graces of Donald Trump, like when shit hits the fan, Donald Trump is 100% a bitch. He is about self-preservation. That's why he throws everybody under the bus and never takes accountability for anything. So yeah, but again, it's just the corruption out in the open. Here's the picture. The Newark mayor arrested without a warrant. Wasn't causing any problems. Just a protest. Arrested by ICE. Donald Trump's personal police force. And Tom Homan, the corruption is just out in the open. Not only are they building private prison facilities using our money, then they are taking that money and putting it in their own pockets. See how it works? It's all a grift, guys. It's 100%. It's all a grift. It always is. Everything comes down to money. That's the only thing that's nice about these idiots. This is so predictable because everything comes down to money with them because they are 100% profit over people. They do not care about human life. They care about the almighty dollar. That is it. That is it. Okay? So Donald Trump has given at least $1 billion to the GEO Group specifically. And I wonder how much of that went into Tom Homan's pocket. Pathetic, right? Absolutely pathetic. Oh, what's even more pathetic? Speaking of pathetic and drunk, Pete Hegseth. There are claims that he may have used illegal wiretaps to spy on his own staff. Bro. What the? Man, this is why I have a hard time. This is why I have a hard time watching my mouth because this stuff's so dumb. This is crazy. The White House has lost confidence in a Pentagon leak investigation that Pete Hegseth used to justify firing 3 top aides last month, and after advisors were told that the aides had supposedly been outed by an illegal, warrantless National Security Agency wiretap. And Pete Hegseth has the NSA wiretapping his staff. If he can, that means he can do it to any of us. That, if they're not, this is a red alert, y'all. If they can do wiretaps using the National Security Agency without a warrant on their own staff, actual employees of the government, that means they can do it on any of us. And they don't give a shit. And they don't care. Because they obviously don't care about the process. They don't care about law and order. They know they're going to get away with all this. Yeah, that's crazy. But that means they can do it. If they can do it to their own staff, people that actually work at the government who have been properly vetted, what's going to keep them to doing it from, I don't know, somebody like me who talks bad about Donald Trump? They could do it. They could get into my phone, I'm sure. Liquorgate. That's a good one. Yeah, Pete Hegseth on Liquorgate. So yeah, the advisors were stunned again when Parlitori. So apparently Parlitori is the one that leaked it, which is Pete Hegseth's personal lawyer. So we're kind of confused because they're denying it, of course, but it actually came out of somebody in his staff's mouth, which is funny. Like admitting that you're doing illegal wiretaps is crazy. The illegal wiretap claim and Caldwell's denials fueled a breakdown in trust between the Pentagon and the White House, where Trump advisors tracking the investigation have privately suggested they no longer have any idea about who or what to believe. So there's our government and they're eating each other. They're eating each other. Now they don't know who to believe. They don't know who to trust. This is getting so bad. So bad. But let's talk about no more Liquorgate. Pete Kegsbreath. That's such a joke. And that was his voice on the that military ad I played at the beginning. The guy with the makeup room. I mean, if you're a dude who wears makeup, great. But don't tell me you're going to make the military big, bad, and manly when you have a makeup room. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. So Donald Trump recently pardoned Todd and Julie Chrisley, the reality couple who were convicted of fraud. He also recently pardoned somebody else that I can't remember the name off the top of my head, who was convicted of a crime, and their daughter came out and publicly said that, I raised a bunch of money for Trump. Then she was invited to a personal dinner, $1 million a plate dinner, which she went to. And like days later, after that $1 million contribution, she found out her parents are going to get pardoned. That's crazy. Yeah, but anyway, so he's pardoning criminals. All criminals, but all white-collar criminals that gave him money or supported his campaign. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, right? So, make it even crazier, though. Trump is actually considering pardoning men convicted of planning to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Today, President Donald Trump said he would consider pardoning Barry Croft Jr. and Adam Fox, convicted in 2020 for a plot to kidnap Michigan's governor. Donald Trump is considering pardoning them. I'm over it. I'm over it. You're importing rapists. You're importing racists. You're importing cartel members. You're pardoning people who committed fraud. And then you're gonna pardon people. Well, you pardoned the Jan 6 insurrectionists. Not leave that one out. And now you want to pardon somebody that was planning to kidnap the state's governor. You are the worst. This is why you are the worst president in U.S. history. I would venture world history at this point. Like in 4 months, Donald Trump has truly shown how completely inept he is. Incompetent. But if you go on Wikipedia and type in people pardoned by Donald Trump, it is a vast list of really shitty people. To include the Silk Road guy, who, let's not forget, Ross Ulbricht, there he is, ran the Silk Road, which was a dark net drug operation. You could literally go on the dark web and order any drug known to man and have it delivered to you. I knew people that used this, okay? I worked with people in the car business that got their shit from the Silk Road. I'm not making this up. This is 100% facts. Okay? And Donald Trump, I mean, this guy's probably the reason for millions of addictions and overdoses, and Donald Trump pardoned a drug dealer. Okay, so we got drug dealers. Andrew Tate, so we got rapists. What was the other one? Murderers. Oh, El Chapo's family. Now we got murderers, too. Those are the three things he wanted to get rid of. But instead, he's importing them. And then we're adding racist people from South Africa that are mad apartheid's over. We're adding that to the list, too. I thought we were supposed to get rid of all of them. I'm sorry, I forgot. If you have brown skin, yeah, as long as you're white, you could be a complete piece of shit. And as long as you give enough money to Donald Trump, he's apparently willing to overlook everything that you've ever done. That's crazy. So we got another famous person on here, Enrique Ontario, who was convicted for one of the worst crimes you could commit against the United States. Seditious conspiracy. It is literally damn near close to being treason. Like, you're literally that close. And Donald Trump pardoned him, along with every other Jan 6er who deserves to be in prison. You're all terrorists. Pathetic losers who wiped shit on the Capitol walls. Devin Archer. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that guy. Steve Bannon. He pardoned Steve Bannon. Who else do we got? Some names that I recognize. Let me know if you see anybody that you recognize. Dinesh D'Souza. Another right-wing political commentator. Paul Manafort. Yeah. Yeah, there's another one. Super. So this is just a who's who of the whole most terrible people in America, for the most part. I don't know if Donald Trump's given a pardon to anybody that actually deserves a pardon. All these people seem to have actually committed crimes or have been convicted of crimes. Yeah, Todd Chrisley. Utterly pathetic. Actually convicted of fraud. But that's a big list. And it continues to grow. It continues to grow. Kevin James Lyons. Why does that name sound familiar? Oh, he was one of the insurrectionists. Gotcha. Hey, Lil Wayne's on there. I think he did that his first term. What the hell did he pardon Lil Wayne for? I know Lil Wayne got in some hot water, but what the hell? I don't feel like reading all that. But no, anyway, but yeah, like I said, it's just a nightmare. It's a nightmare. He's just destroying this country. And he's happy to do it. That's the crazy part. He's happy to do it. All right, so moving on. Last topic, or last section of the night. Donald Trump's True Social feed, which always is pretty insane. I'm actually surprised he's... last couple days was pretty slow. But today did not disappoint. Yesterday, he did post about the 50% tariff that he walked away from. Somebody actually called him a chicken. A reporter asked him why do you keep chickening out? He did not like the answer to that. I got to find the video for that for tomorrow. Or he did not like that question at all. He's ranting about men playing in women's sports. Again, like literally a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of, trans women play in women's sports. It's not like it's a huge thing. But they've made it a big deal. There is his threat to Russia. Let's see what else. Oh, here you go. Canada. Yeah. Which very much wants to be part of our fabulous Golden Dome system. I think Donald Trump's realized that he cannot build the Golden Dome without Canada. I think is the problem. So now, and I'm pretty sure, I think we read this yesterday, because I'm pretty sure this post is the first time Canada is hearing about being excited about this Golden Dome system. Here he posts a new poll saying that 60% of Hispanic voters approve of him. Yeah, I'm sure this is a real poll. You're literally ripping Hispanic people off the streets, and you want your supporters to believe that you have support from 6 out of 10 of them. Whatever, bro. You're delusional. Nobody has done more for Alaska than your favorite president, Donald J. Trump. I don't know why he always puts his name after he says he's the favorite president. Your favorite president. And then he reminds them in case they forgot. However, the Biden-Harris administration terminated much of our good job producing. The random capital letters are crazy. Okay, so, all right, so he's done a lot for Alaska. What else? Another rigged presidential election of 2020. Oh, other than the rigged election. Oh my God, he's still talking about 2020. This has to be dementia. He cannot leave it alone. He keeps going back. Like, he keeps just automatically reverting back to 2020. Like, you're the president. It's over. It's a wrap. It's over. Why are you even bothering with Joe Biden? Why? I don't understand why Joe Biden, they call him a feeble old man, but for feeble old man, Donald Trump sure is really afraid of him. So other than the rigged presidential election of 2020, which of course was not rigged, the biggest scandal in American history is the auto pen. I'm not sure why he put that in quotes and all caps. Whoever used it was usurping the power of the... So he's saying Joe Biden was mentally incompetent and that the auto pen signed all the policies. And there's a big old conspiracy that they were hiding Biden and it was really just the auto pen running the country. This is stupid. This is stupid. This is the rantings of a madman. Here he's talking about Freddie Mae or Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac again. Oh my God. Border Patrol on Fox News. Yo, this guy right here, bro. Like, I don't want to talk shit, but as a black man on this show particularly, how do you do it? They say so much racist shit on there, and he just stands there with this dumbass look on his face. Doesn't say anything. They say the most outrageous stuff on this show. Right in front of him. Like, there was one thing he said, I was like, damn, this is fighting words. And he didn't do nothing. He just staring at the camera like a dumbass. Like, all right, so here he is celebrating the Border Patrol, his new favorite organization, because it's the one he can control. They don't have generals. And, the USM, they don't have the United States Code of Military Justice is either. ICE they're just making it up as they go now. And Donald Trump has full control. Who the hell is Tom Barrack? He's now the envoy to Syria. Great. Here he is pointing more judges because he doesn't. I thought you wanted all the power for yourself. Why are you putting judges in place if you just? I mean, the big beautiful bill says that you're more powerful than the judges, so why put more judges in place? Seems kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it? Oh yeah, and then you get these. The ads are just. Oh my God, the ads on this website are so stupid. More Border Patrol stuff. Yeah. I think this number's bullshit. It says he has 9.82 million followers. But then when you look at his posts, like, he gets shit for engagement. I have posts on TikTok with more engagement than that, and I have like 9,000. And according to this, he has almost 10 million followers. They're either not using the website or it's just all bots and inflated. I'm pretty sure it's just inflated numbers. So yeah, there's the rantings of a maniac on the internet, which is what Donald Trump does. He runs the entire country from his social media platform. If he's mad, he posts about it on Truth Social. He's mad about Putin, Truth Social. Mad about Israel, Truth Social. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And I think Donald Trump's mental decline. I think they are. I think, it's always projection with these people. So I honestly think that there is something going on mentally with Donald Trump. 100%. I mean, I think it's obvious at this point. But, I mean, you would think that, you know what I mean? Like, they always like to project. So them saying Biden was mentally incompetent and that their administration was covering it up immediately makes me think, because everything they project, they are admitting they do it themselves. Everything, literally everything. So I honestly think something's really bad with Donald Trump. They're letting him speak less and less. When he does speak, he just rambles like an incompetent madman. And yeah, I think they're covering up for him. I think he's in a lot worse shape than they're letting on. Yeah, who knows? Maybe one day we'll wake up and we'll get some good news. I won't say what I think that good news is, but maybe one day it'll happen. Will it happen soon? I don't know. Are we lucky? I don't know. Because it doesn't matter. J.D. Vance is no better. J.D. Vance is no better. If anything, he's worse. Because he's young. And he's not incompetent. I mean, he's an idiot. But, you know, his brain is... I mean... I guess it's a matter of perspective, but he does have a functioning brain. For the most part. And he has the full support of the Heritage Foundation. And Elon Musk. They're buddies. So, yeah, that's all I have for today, guys. Oh, wow. All right, so I didn't think I was going to go this long. But, yeah, thanks, guys, for the support. Thanks. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It was a lot of fun. A lot of laughs. A lot of F-bombs. I apologize for that. And, again, I should just put a language warning up at the front of my show. And hopefully YouTube doesn't get too mad at me because of the ads. We'll see. To be determined. If they do, I'll just turn them back off. Not a big deal. But hopefully this gets our stuff through the algorithm somehow. Maybe if there's ads on it, YouTube will push it more. I don't know. I'm honestly willing to try anything at this point. So great ideas all around, everybody. Also, if you guys know of anybody that you think would maybe want to sponsor this show, or if you have an idea of a company you think we should reach out to, email me. It's the VOR podcast and gaming at gmail.com. Feel free to reach out to us, or on social media. You can DM me. My DMs are open. I'm not afraid of DMs. You can DM me on TikTok. You can DM me on Instagram. You could even, I think you could DM me on Twitter. Can you DM on? Yeah, you could DM on Twitter. I don't go on Twitter very often. It's basically just an auxiliary app that I have to use for downloading videos for this show. So other than that, I love you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow from 6 to 8 o'clock with more of your favorite unfiltered headlines. We'll see what kind of dumb shit happens tomorrow. But other than that, I love you guys. Thanks for the donations. I appreciate this. If you can, share this video. Oh, yeah, Ground News. Ground News. I definitely am going to reach out to them. I may have already. I can't remember. I sent a couple out. But I want to send I made an official sponsorship letter. So I'm going to start sending that out. So one of these days, I'm going to spend a couple hours just doing that. I just got to get a list together of places I want to send it to. So, but Ground News, definitely. And for those of you who don't know, that's where I get all my headlines from. Most of them, not all of them. Most of the headlines I get from Ground News, great source of information. It just takes all the different websites and all the different news sources and puts it all together for you. And it tells you which sources are factual or not. You can even get a synopsis on all these combined stories and everything. It's really good. There's a monthly fee, I think, but it's totally worth it, especially in this day and message. I'd rather pay a couple dollars and get factual information than have to sift through all the online bullshit these days, especially with this new Google AI. I'm freaked out. Love you guys. I'll